Ram श्री राधा की, श्री पंचतत्व की, श्री निताय गौरांग की, मायापुर धाम की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की, वृंदे देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। विश्वगुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। We have posted the verse in the WhatsApp group. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, verse 25. Satāṁ prasaṅgān mama vīrya-saṁvidah. Satāṁ prasaṅgān mama vīrya-saṁvido. Satāṁ prasaṅgān mama vīrya-saṁvido. bhavanti hṛt-karṇa-rasāyanāḥ kathāḥ. bhavanti hṛt-karṇa-rasāyanāḥ kathāḥ. bhavanti hṛt-karṇa-rasāyanāḥ kathāḥ. taj-joṣaṇād āṣu apavarga-vartmani. taj-joṣaṇād āṣu apavarga-vartmani. taj-joṣaṇād āṣu apavarga-vartmani. śraddhā ratir bhaktir anukramiṣyati. śraddhā ratir bhaktir anukramiṣyati. śraddhā ratir bhaktir anukramiṣyati. satāṁ prasaṅgān mama vīrya-saṁvido. bhavanti hṛt-karṇa-rasāyanāḥ kathāḥ. taj-joṣaṇād āṣu apavarga-vartmani. śraddhā ratir bhaktir anukramiṣyati. satāṁ prasaṅgān mama vīrya-saṁvido.
vīrya-saṁvido
bhavanti hṛt-karṇa-rasāyanāḥ kathāḥ
bhavanti hṛt-karṇa-rasāyanāḥ
taj-joṣaṇād apavarga-vartmani
tehát-joṣaṇād
śraddhā ratir bhaktir anukramiṣyati
śraddhā ratir bhaktir anukramiṣyati satāṁ
prasaṅgān mama vīrya-saṁvido bhavanti hṛt-karṇa-rasāyanāḥ taj-joṣaṇād apavarga-vartmani śraddhā ratir bhaktir anukramiṣyati satāṁ prasaṅgān mama vīrya-saṁvido bhavanti hṛt-karṇa-rasāyanāḥ taj-joṣaṇād apavarga-vartmani śraddhā ratir bhaktir anukramiṣyati. Word to word meaning: satāṁ, of pure devotees, prasaṅgān, through the association, mama, my, vīrya, wonderful activities, saṁvidaḥ, by discussion of, bhavanti, become, hṛt, to the heart, karna, to the ear, rasa-ayanāḥ, pleasing, kathāḥ, the stories, tat, of that, joṣaṇād, by cultivation, ashu, quickly, apavarga, of liberation, vartmani, on the path, śraddhā, firm faith, ratir, attraction, bhaktir, devotion, anukramiṣyati, will follow in order. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: Lord Kapila instructed, in the association of pure devotees, a discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begin. Please repeat the translation. In the association of pure devotees, discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begin. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The process of advancing in Krishna consciousness and devotional service is described here. The first point is that one must seek the association of persons who are Krishna conscious and who engage in devotional service. Without such association, one cannot make advancement. Simply by theoretical knowledge or study, one cannot make any appreciable advancement. One must give up the association of materialistic persons and seek the association of devotees, because without the association of devotees, one cannot understand the activities of the Lord. Generally, people are convinced of the impersonal feature of the absolute truth. Because they do not associate with devotees, they cannot understand that the absolute truth can be a person and have personal activities. This is a very difficult subject matter, and unless one has personal understanding of the absolute truth, there is no meaning to devotion. Service or devotion cannot be offered to anything impersonal. Service must be offered to a person. Non-devotees cannot appreciate Krishna consciousness by reading the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam or any other Vedic literature wherein the activities of the Lord are described. They think that these activities are fictional, manufactured stories, because spiritual life is not explained to them in the proper mood. To understand the personal activities of the Lord, one has to seek the association of devotees, and by such association, when one contemplates and tries to understand the transcendental activities of the Lord, the path to liberation is open and he is freed. One who has firm faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes fixed, and his attraction for association with the Lord and the devotees increases. Association with devotees means association with the Lord. The devotee who makes this association develops the consciousness for rendering service to the Lord, and then, being situated in the transcendental position of devotional service, he gradually becomes perfect. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om ajnanatimidandhasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam verse in the third canto, where Lord Kapila is instructing Mother Devahuti about the process of devotional service. So this verse is explaining to us how to make progress in Krishna consciousness. All of us have come to this trip to visit the holy Dhams in the association of devotees, and the purpose of you coming is to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. The purpose is to become better devotees. That is the purpose, to make advancement. So the purpose of such pilgrimage trips is to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. Now in this verse, Lord Kapila is giving the formula to make spiritual advancement. How to make spiritual advancement? Generally, we think spiritual advancement is something which is very vague. I don't know whether I am making spiritual advancement or not. How do I know? It is something vague. Maybe some feelings are developing in my heart. Maybe something like that. But here in this verse, Lord Kapila is giving a very concrete method, a step-by-step process, how to make spiritual advancement. So he is saying, satāṁ prasaṅgān mama vīrya-saṁvidaḥ. First thing that you should do is, you should associate with the satāṁ, the devotees of the Lord who are Krishna conscious, who are engaged in devotional service themselves. We should associate with such devotees. So satāṁ prasaṅgān, association of devotees. And what you should do in such association? Mama vīrya-saṁvidaḥ. You have to hear about the pastimes of the Lord, about the activities of the Lord. Shravanam has to happen. We all know in the Navaveda Bhakti, the first step is Shravanam. Now how can Shravanam happen if we are not associating with the devotees? So we have to hear from the devotees. And Srila Prabhupada very nicely explained in the Purport why we have to hear from devotees only. Why not from anybody else? Why? Because only when you hear from devotees, we will be able to realize that the absolute truth is a person. He has personality, he has personal features. Because generally people think absolute truth is some impersonal, some energy, some void. And when the pastimes of the Lord are narrated to such people, they think that these are all imaginary stories. Oh, how this is possible? Absolute truth is not a person. And you are saying this, Krishna came and he reciprocated with his devotees like this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did like this. Jagannath did like this with the devotees. How? These are all very hard to believe. These are all some fabricated stories. They think like that because of the impersonal understanding, impersonal contamination. Actually, impersonalism is a contamination. Contamination means what? Something which is not required. Dirt. With this impersonal contamination in our mind, if we try to hear the pastimes of the Lord, we will think it is simply fictitious stories. That is why it is important to hear from a pure devotee who has realized the personal feature of the Lord, who has got a personal relationship with Krishna. From him, from such a realized pure devotee, if you hear, then there is a very strong impression created in our mind about the personal form of the Lord. So that is why the Padma Purana is saying, Avaishnava mukodgirnat putam harikathamritam shravanam naiva kartavyam sarpochishta yathapayah. A very beautiful verse with an analogy is given in the Padma Purana. Srila Prabhupada quotes this. What is the meaning of this verse? Avaishnava, one who is not a Vaishnava, one who is not a devotee, one who does not have faith in the personal form of the Lord, he is called Avaishnava. From the Avaishnava, Mukhodgirnam Putam Harikatamritam. From Avaishnava's Mukha, from his mouth, you should not hear Harikatha, Krishna Katha. You should not hear. Even though Krishna Katha is Putam. Putam means it is very purifying. Just by hearing Krishna Katha, one can become purified. But Padma Purana is warning us, don't hear such pure narrations about Krishna's activities from an Avaishnava, from one who is not a devotee. Right? What will happen if you hear from a non-devotee? Right? Avaishnavad mukodgirnam putam harikatamritam shravanam na eva kartavyam. Do not hear from such Avaishnava. What will happen? Sarpochishta yatha payaha. Payaha means milk. So milk is very nutritious. When you drink cow milk, you get so much nourishment. But if that same milk is touched by a serpent, its lips, what happens? It becomes contaminated by its venom. It becomes poisonous. And when somebody drinks that kind of milk, he's sure to die. He's sure to die. Isn't it? So, in the same way, Krishna Katha is very purifying. It elevates our consciousness. But when we hear Krishna Katha from someone who has no faith in the personal form of the Lord, one from a Vaishnava if you hear, then it leads to spiritual death. Whatever little bhakti we have also will go away. Because whenever you hear from somebody what is happening, words are vehicles. Words are acting like vehicles. What are these vehicles carrying? Faith is getting carried. When you hear from somebody, there is a faith transfer which is happening from the speaker to the listener. If the speaker has full conviction about Krishna, personal form, then when you hear from such a devotee, then you will also inherit that faith, conviction. Right? There may be many professional reciters of Bhagavatam. They may be speaking so much about personal activities of the Lord, but they don't have faith in the Lord. Therefore, the listeners, for time being, they may get excited, but long run there is no transformation in the heart. They don't become devotees. Right? Especially in North India, there is Bhagavata Saptaha, which is very, very famous. For 7 days they sit and hear Bhagavatam. And in a very fanciful manner, the professional reciters, they even narrate the pastimes of Krishna. Generally, they don't describe the entire Bhagavatam. Generally, they jump into the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, and specifically they jump into those 5 chapters of the 10th canto which describe the Rasa Leela pastimes of Krishna, because this is something which is very nice hearing for the materialistic people. So they speak very nicely, fancifully, but after hearing for 7 days, what is happening to them? They go back to their own ways. They are still addicted to coffee and tea. They are still addicted to the Saas Bahu serial. Where is the transformation? Hearing Harikatha should bring about transformation. Bhagavatam says, hearing Bhagavatam brings about Janasya Viplavam. It brings about a revolution in the listener's mind. Revolution. Just like all of us, Krishna consciousness has created some revolution in our life. Every day we are dedicating some time to chant Hare Krishna mantra. We have understood the seriousness of this. It's not a part-time job that we are doing. Whenever I am free in the weekend, I will chant a few rounds. No, we have taken it up seriously. Why? Because we have heard from a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. His instructions we are hearing. These are very, very potent, very powerful. So when we hear from such a pure devotee, then there is Viplavam. Just like in our homes, we might have had lot of differences of opinion after coming in touch with Krishna consciousness, with our parents, with our family members. They may insist you should eat non-vegetarian food, but you said no, I have given up non-vegetarian food. They will be thinking, all these years you were enjoying, you were waiting when the Sunday non-veg will be served. And today you are saying, I am not interested. What happened to you? Someone has brainwashed you. Like this. That means it is a 360-degree shift. Something which was favorite, now we start disliking it. Why? Because we have heard Krishna Katha from a pure devotee. This is the effect of hearing from a pure devotee. So if you don't hear from a pure devotee, if you hear instead from some professional reciter who himself has no faith and conviction, who himself is not engaged in devotional principles, devotional service, then there is absolutely no effect. In fact, the effect is ulta, opposite. Whatever little bhakti faith we have, that also get destroyed. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this. What did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said? Mayavada bhashya sunile hoi sarvanash. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you hear from a Mayavadi, if you hear Vedic scriptures from a Mayavadi, whatever bhakti you have, that will get destroyed. Sarvanash, our spiritual life will be doomed. So, a devotee should be very, very careful whom he is hearing from. What are the inputs going into his mind-body system? Because yad bhavam tad bhavati. What you are going to hear is going to convert into your consciousness. It is going to get inputted, deposited into your consciousness. And that consciousness is going to make your life. Your life depends on the quality of your consciousness. At any given point of time, if you want to know yourself, what is the quality of my life? You should just check, what is my consciousness? What are the thoughts hovering on in my mind? That is a direct indication of the quality of my life. If my mind is absorbed in spiritual subject matter, taking pleasure in Krishna conscious activities, then you are on the positive side, you're making progress. But if our mind is agitated with material desires, so much of anxiety for material possessions, possessing them, then we should know we are on a downside. So we can do a reality check ourselves. Where am I progressing? How am I progressing? Am I on the upside or on the downside? So here Lord Kapila is saying, first you associate with devotees who are engaged in devotional service, then you hear about Krishna's activities from them, then what happens? This hearing Krishna Katha, very beautifully Kapila Deva is describing, it is bhavanti hṛt-karṇa-rasāyanāḥ. What is this rasayana? Rasayana means it is a very sweet, it is very special, very tasty. Just like we have been having sweets every day during this trip, especially the kheer, sweet rice. At the end they serve, right? So how when you eat that sweet rice, how do you feel? You feel so good and satisfied. You feel so nice, right? You feel so nice. Now I have had a very nice meal, fully satisfying. So this Krishna Katha is like rasayana. Rasayana to the ears and to the mind, both. Just by hearing Krishna Katha, one can be fully satisfied, actually. For that, we have to give up our attraction to Gramya Katha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Gramya Katha na shunibe. One should not hear material topics. Whenever we meet some people, some of our old friends, unfortunately those who have not become Krishna conscious, or we should say, where we have not put efforts to make them Krishna conscious, right? Such people, if you talk to them, then they will only talk about material topics. What is happening in politics, what is happening in their personal life, what is happening with their family life, and simply some gossiping, right? Some topics connected with material happiness, material pleasure, isn't it? Actually, by hearing them, we become more depressed. There is nothing positive to hear from them. If you hear from somebody about material topics, or if you, for that matter, if you read newspaper, some people take hours together, they want to read every printed letter on the newspaper. Their day doesn't begin without newspaper and a cup of tea. And they go on hearing. What is that they are gaining by hearing? Every news is negative only. They become more and more depressed. Depression. People get into depression by hearing material topics. On the other hand, you hear Krishna Katha from the devotees. It is so nice. How Krishna reciprocates with his devotees. It is so nice to hear. So it is rasayana, bhavanti hṛt-karṇa. It elevates our consciousness. It is so nice to hear also, and it is pleasing to the heart. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, give up this Gramya Katha. Tyaja Gramya Katham Sakalam Vipalam. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, this Gramya Katha is simply useless, waste of time. Don't spend your time in discussing mundane topics, hearing material subject matter from people. Instead, you should hear Krishna Katha from the devotees. This is very pleasing. So there was one devotee, in Jagannath Puri, when we go, we will be hearing more about him. there was one devotee called Bhakta Salabega. This Bhakta Salabega, he was born in a Muslim family. His father was a Muslim, but his mother was a devotee of Lord Jagannath. So from the very beginning of his life, this Bhakta Salabega was hearing about Krishna Katha from his mother. So much she would narrate the pastimes of Lord Jagannath every day. Just like we tell, in our childhood we must have heard bedtime stories from our parents, grandparents, like that. We look forward, when is the next storytelling session? Because storytelling, hearing is so nice, isn't it? So this Bhakta Salabega's mother, every day bedtime stories, Jagannath's Leelas, glories of Jagannath. Because of this Bhakta Salabega became so attached to Lord Jagannath. He became a great devotee, staunch devotee of Lord Jagannath, simply by hearing from his mother. Then he went on to become a great poet devotee. He has written hundreds of songs about Lord Jagannath in Odia language. Once it so happened, it was Ratha Yatra time, Bhakta Salabega had gone to Vrindavan, and it was his great desire to have darshan of Lord Jagannath on the Ratha. So he started traveling from Vrindavan Dham to Jagannath Puri Dham. Why he was so eager to have darshan of Lord Jagannath during Ratha Yatra? Because otherwise he would not have an opportunity to have darshan. Isn't it? Only Hindus are allowed inside Jagannath temple even today. Even 500 years ago, during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time also, Haridas Thakur was not allowed inside the temple. And even during Srila Prabhupada's time, when Prabhupada had brought his Western disciples, they were not allowed inside the temple. So Prabhupada used to criticize, you are trying to make Jagannath as Odia Nath. Is he Nath only for Odisha people or only for Indians? He is Jagater Nath. He is the master of the entire universe. Why are you not allowing the devotees? These are all sincere devotees. They have given up all sinful activities. Even though they were born in Western countries, they have now become nice devotees. They have come to have darshan of Lord Jagannath and you are not allowing them. This is not correct. So once what happened, Srila Prabhupada became so unhappy and upset that his devotees were not allowed. Prabhupada also did not go for darshan. My devotees are not having darshan, I will also not go. So, they were not allowed. So this Bhakta Salabega, because he was from a Muslim family, he was not allowed inside the temple. So he was eagerly waiting when Ratha Yatra will happen, when the Lord mercifully will come out of the temple so that we can have his darshan. So Bhakta Salabega started traveling from Vrindavan. Ratha Yatra started. And he has to travel some hundreds of kilometers and he has to come. So, but unfortunately the Ratha Yatra completed. Ratha from the Sri Mandir, the deities went to Gundicha Mandir. And this news Bhakta Salabega got on the way. He was so depressed. He was thinking, what is the use of my living? Let me give up my body. What is the use of this eyes if I am not able to see the Lord of the universe with these eyes? He wanted to die. But another devotee came and said, don't worry, Ulta Ratha Yatra is there. In next 7 days, Jagannath is going to again come back. That time you can see. So now he said, don't waste time. You have 7 days, start walking. See, we all have come in buses, trains, flights. Nice experience, AC room. But little bit inconvenience, we become so much agitated. Immediately our mind will start thinking, oh, what is this? Why should I take so much trouble? So long queue, darshan. I didn't have peaceful darshan also. So many people pushing, pulling. See, but imagine Bhakta Salabega, he was walking on foot. No means of travel, he has to walk. Even 500 years ago, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, they used to walk for long distances on barefoot to have darshan, to visit the holy dhams. Compared to their tapasya, our tapasya is nothing. Our tapasya is zero actually compared to their tapasya. But still we become so much agitated, worried. Oh, this weather is like this. Oh, this hot flow. Oh, like this. Isn't it? So we should not focus on that. Instead, our heart and ears should be filled with the rasayana of Krishna Katha. then we can get the full benefit of visiting the holy Dham. So this Bhakta Salabhega, hoping that during the Bahuda Ratha Yatra, he will have darshan of the Lord, he started walking from Vrindavan, and on the way, he got seriously sick. He got some, disease. He got high fever. And he was hardly able to walk, but still he was managing. At one point of time, he collapsed. He fell down on the ground. And at that time, he composed a song. He composed a song to glorify Lord Jagannath. And he said, I am born in a low family. I am a Yavana, born in a Muslim family. That's why I think you are not interested in giving me darshan. You gave darshan to Gajendra. So quickly you went on the Garuda and immediately helped him. You saved him from the clutches of crocodile. You immediately, when Draupadi called for you in the Kuru Sabha when she was getting insulted, immediately you went and supplied unlimited sari. So for all these devotees you are giving favor, but because I am such a low-born fellow, I am so unfortunate, I am not getting your mercy. Like this he composed a song and glorified the Lord. And when this song was composed, the Lord heard this, and immediately the Ratha in the grand road, Puri, the Ratha halted. The Ratha did not move. Devotees were trying to pull the Ratha, push the Ratha from backside. The king of Orissa brought hundreds of elephants to push this Ratha from behind. Even though so many elephants were pushing, the Ratha was not moving even an inch. So this shows the Lord of the universe, his Ratha does not move by mechanical arrangement of the wheels. It moves by his will. And his will is controlled by his pure devotees. So until Bhakta Salabhega came, he somehow recovered, again started walking. He came in front of the Ratha, had darshan to his heart's content, glorified Jagannath. Only then, when he moved the Ratha, Lord Jagannath's Ratha started moving towards the Sri Mandir. So this is the kind of love the Lord exchanges with his great pure devotees. Each one of us sitting here can also have such loving reciprocations with the Lord. For that we have to prepare our consciousness. We should give up our attraction to material topics. We should take interest in hearing more and more and more. The more we hear about Krishna, the more we become qualified. Our heart becomes softened with bhakti, rasa, and we become qualified to understand the Lord. Then the Lord will reveal more and more himself to us. For the non-devotees, the Lord doesn't reveal himself. He covers himself with Maya's curtain. That's why this Dham is called Mayapur Dham. This Mayapur Dham, it is called because those who don't have the right consciousness, when they come here, Maya will cover their vision. They will think, oh, this is also an ordinary village like any other town. So it is guarded by Maya Devi herself, this Mayapur Dham. And only those who are devotees, who have right consciousness, to them the real glories of the Lord, of Lord Chaitanya, his pastime places are revealed. For those who are not sufficiently heard, for them they will only see, oh, some mud roads. See, so much water is piled there. No good roads only. And in the totos, we are getting tossed like this. And we are going. This is what, after going back to home, what was your experience in Mayapur Dham? Somebody asks, you will say, see, the roads were not good at all. In the totos, we were getting tossed. This is what we will say. But this is Maya's trick. This is not the glory of Mayapur Dham. But because our consciousness is materially contaminated, Maya Devi will give only this experience. But we can have altogether a different consciousness. Right? We should be so eager to hear more and more, chant more and more in this Dham. Especially we have come during this Purushottama Masa. We should make the best use of this opportunity. So what happens then? Śraddhā, ratir, bhaktir, anukramiṣyati. One after the other, these three things will progress. What is that? Śraddhā. Our faith will become stronger. And then ratihi, attraction to chanting his holy names, attraction to serving the Lord will increase. Right now we have rati towards material topics, material pleasures. But if you keep on hearing, what happens? Our rati towards Krishna will increase. Rati to visit Krishna's holy places and hear pastimes will develop. This rati is wanted, this attraction is wanted. That's why we have come to this Dham Yatra. And then what happens? Bhakti, real bhakti comes. What is that real bhakti? Prema. Pure love for Krishna will be revealed in our heart. We will become recipients of this pure love of Krishna. We will experience this. Just like Bhakta Salabhega, just like many devotees experience loving reciprocation with the Lord, we can also experience. But for that we have to qualify. Somebody may think, now I am struggling so much to develop attraction. I am trying to chant, I am trying to hear, but my mind is going like that, there and here, getting disturbed. Will this be like this forever in my life? Will it be a lifelong struggle for me? The good news is that no, it's not going to be a lifelong struggle. It's just the starting trouble. Right? Once we get into the form, right, especially śraddhā, sadhu-saṅgā, bhajana-kriya, anartha-nivritti. Once we cross over this anarthas, you don't have to become free from 100% anarthas. Even if you become free from little bit of anarthas, if you become free from partially, nashta prayeshu. Prayeshu means there may be little tinge of anarthas left, that's okay. Right? If you become free from almost all your anarthas, even though little tinge is remaining, that's okay. You will come to the nishtha stage. Nishtha means firm conviction. And after nishtha, there is no seeing back. It's a positive up ramp walk. So we just have to cross over this anartha nivritti stage, and that is possible only when we seek feedback and guidance from devotees. Prabhu, please tell me, you have been observing me during this Dham Yatra. Tell me what I should improve. Is there any inputs that you have for me, feedback for me? We should ask. Seek guidance, how to improve my behavior, how to improve my chanting quality. In this way, if you keep. So for all this association of devotees is important. You cannot say, alone I will sit in one place and I will chant, I will have my own spiritual life and I will go back to Godhead myself. It's not possible. Especially in Kali Yuga, it is not possible. Why? Kalau sattvaharam pumsa. Kali Yuga is such that it takes away all the good qualities in a person. So even though you have good intention, I want to make progress in bhakti, the vibes of Kali Yuga is such that it takes away your good intentions, pushes you towards material things. That is why we should be always in the association of devotees and here. Just like this weather, so hot it is, your body keeps losing fluids. It loses water. You get dehydrated because of the sun. Just like Kali Yuga takes away all the good qualities in a person, like that the sun takes away all the water from your body. For that, what you should do? You get dehydrated, then you become weak, then you can't walk. What you should do? Regularly keep replenishing fluids, water, keep drinking. Then even though dehydration is there, you will not suffer that much. Body keeps getting the fluids, isn't it? That's why we say keep drinking water in this weather. In the same way, in Kali Yuga, our good qualities keep going away. That's the effect of Kali Yuga. But if you are in the association of devotees and you keep hearing about Krishna again and again, again and again, again and again, then there is a hope that yes, I can sustain the negative effects of Kali Yuga and still emerge successful in my spiritual life by the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees. So in this mood, that's why here Kapila Deva is saying, keep on hearing in the